Yes, sir. In addition to that po, how can our RI members apply their professional knowledge to help their fellow citizens throughout the world? And then how can RI be the platform for that one?
We'll try to together. We will try to explore the best ways by which we can be able to come up with programs and activities that will zero into
Facilitate.
Facilitate this our members upgrade the importance of what are their views, what are their views, what are the learning experiences that they were able to derive from all these problems, and what will the people of the world do as one. Can we just continue to be always saving our own selves, saving our own country, without considering others and other countries, something like that? Or it is better for us to think about others now, to think other countries, and share our experiences and try to consolidate our strength and promote unity and cooperation among people in the world. But it should start in education. In other words, the educational platform of different countries of the world should teach young people to cooperate with one another, irrespective of races, irrespective of what country you belong. You talk also your young people about the importance of what your industry is doing in helping your own people, and at the same time, what shall be the goodness of your industry in helping also other people of the world. So what I mean is that we will develop a new brand of leadership among young people about the goodness and the importance of thinking for their own people, thinking for their own country, thinking also for other people of other countries and different countries of the world, without and trying to help one another. If you look into the last purpose of Royal Institution Singapore, Georgette.
Yes.
If you look the last purpose, how good it is if we can be able to operationalize among our members from different countries of the world of this particular purpose of the Royal Institution Singapore. From there, that can serve as a springboard as to what are the things that RI should go from now and for the future. Yeah. So it's really a powerful platform. The Royal Institution of Singapore is a very powerful platform, and we'll try to dissect the purposes being prepared by your daddy. So we'll decipher it, and try to come up with strategic plans, that from plans to
Program.
project in our own modest way, modest way, and in our own capacity. Perhaps that can be a good contribution for all of us, among people of the world, especially among our members.
So many of our members are sharing their views in their area of expertise, like our architect Palafox, right, was interviewed
Yeah,
yesterday, and we
yeah.
shared his video because we agree with what he has said, and it's aligned with our view as well.
Yeah, I have seen that video, the interview of ANC, the one that you forwarded in the WhatsApp, and we support the advocacy that is from the point of view of environmental planning, but that is only one segment of the entirety
Yes.
of the entire development. This has something to do about national development program and global program. So the United Nations of organization perhaps can lead, calling all nations of the world to identify the possible areas that can be integrated into a very comprehensive development plan. So it is not only environmental planning, it is very integrated and comprehensive plans that affects human race. So all the different professions, different experts in different fields, all kinds of fields, education, laws, engineering, all, because it will be consolidated and come up with one development plan which will address not only environment, not only manufacturing, business and industry, not only health and sanitation, not only about education and medicine, everything. It is a comprehensive development program. You see, like this time, this COVID-19, all countries of the world were not, we were caught unaware. Everybody is not aware. There is no preparation. And we live by day-to-day conditions. It is day-to-day conditions. Even in China, they were caught unaware. So based on their day-to-day struggle, they were able to decipher what are the approaches that can somehow stop or lessen. But still, they are not ready. What is the prescription that can be prescribed and that can be taken in by all Chinese to avoid committing the same being attacked by the same virus. So we're caught unaware because there is no comprehend that goes to show that we have no plans about all these things. There is no plan. There are studies being conducted by scientists in China. But I think in the latest information, they tried to suppress all these things, information. The French scientist was interviewed a while ago in the CNN that how they wish that they will be able to get all those information so that they can be able to join together, come up with possible experiment and possible determination of what are the best ways to fight this virus. But you see, everybody seems not to cooperate because there is no time. They give more time to combating the spread of virus. But see, we were caught unaware. So hopefully, with the prescription, the what we call protocol, distancing, washing of hands, these are all practices in what we call clean living. These are basic. Wash your hands before eating. Take a bath. These are basic. Drink warm water. Drink 8 glasses of water. Drink orange juice or calamansi juice. Take more vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin B. These are basic. Clean living, don't drink, don't smoke. These are all basic. Basic. We are still what is being practiced to being imposed to us. These are basic. There is nothing new. There's nothing new. Distancing, that is distancing. It was prescribed long before the coronavirus, the MERS, even HIV virus. Distancing, no contact. It is being prescribed.
Mm-hmm.
Now we want to have a more definitive solution on this in terms of medicine. So the best way for us to do is to follow the protocol. Protocol. We respect authorities. Nobody should violate it. But then again, how can poor people, the poorest of the poor, can follow the protocol? You cannot say, don't go out. They have nothing to cook. They have nothing to eat. You cannot avoid them. They will go out and look for something to eat. Well, if the government is rich enough to provide all what their needs, well and good. But if the government is as poor as a third-class country like what we have in the Philippines, they cannot. And lockdown as a solution for 1 month or more than 1 month is so devastating to the economic infrastructure. And that is more dangerous than pandemic, than this virus, coronavirus.
Yes, sir.
When the economy of a given country will collapse, banking system will collapse, business and industry will collapse. So you cannot maintain hospitals, you cannot maintain production, you cannot, because it collapse. Banking system. No one will invest, no one will, it's really hard. It becomes harder. These lockdowns will not give meaning at all if it will take so long a time. In America, up to June 30, all employees are being paid. They are being paid. They have their unemployment
Benefits.
salaries for 3 months. So can we afford that in the Philippines? In Singapore, they can afford because you have so much. In other countries like the Philippines, the government cannot afford. The government cannot even impose private corporations. Even the government itself cannot afford.
If the government is asking the employers to pay or not to retrench and all that, then businesses which are already unable to sustain their own cash flow would have to close down instead. I mean, if we look at the statistics of the number of companies which closed down, even in Singapore, in the last month, it's a huge number, and that is despite Singapore government is paying 75% of the salary of all Singaporeans, up to the first $4,600 of your salary is going to be paid by the Singapore government for the month of April. This is one of the new measures in our supplementary budget, which the intention is to keep as many jobs as possible. Because I've also read in the news that some mayors and some mayors in the Philippines have issued orders like telling the businessmen, you cannot close your company or you cannot fire people, but
Okay.
it could just backfire, right? Because if they are not able to do retrenchment or to cut down costs, the whole company will be closed down.
No, they cannot.
Yeah.
Where will they get money?
Mm.
The government should subsidize.
Yes.
If that is the case, yeah, there is still problem. There are information circulating in the Philippines that there are still poorest of the poor who have not received any support from the government. So, how is that?
Mm-hmm.
So what can we?
So lockdown.
Doing? Yeah.
We have to start generating the strengthening our economy. We have to start that.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot afford to continue having all these problems. It becomes more dangerous. To me, if it will be postponed it will be postponed for another week or 2 weeks in the Philippines. It will be very painful because it started in Luzon. It started March 17. Supposed to be it should end April 12. But the government decided to extend up to April 30 because we have no enough testing kit to test those possible carriers. And is what we call probable carriers. So, you see, now when donations and orders come for test kit arrives, maybe about 200,000 or 400,000. Still, it is not yet enough. Now, they started coming up with this what we call intensifying to test those who are suspected. So it went up the number of cases.
Mhm.
So hopefully by April 30, the lockdown will be lifted
Opo.
and we start for more dynamism
Mhm.
or more economic activities to start the wheels of industry to turn around.
Opo.
Because
Actually po,
it will not happen. That will be another problem.
Opo. According po sa kay Speaker Nograles, yung sa IITF, they said that starting tomorrow, they will conduct mass testing for the PUIs and QMs, person under
Otherwise,
investigations and persons. Yun. And then
hopefully they
for
can
our
start that.
frontliners din po. They will be the priority for the mass testing.
Yes.
But you see, it has to be more comprehensive approach. What the DOH is doing is like a band-aid solution. How about the protections for frontliners? Very much behind the number required.
Mhm.
Doctors are not being provided. We lack all these things. You know, Norji, the group of Norji, it is now in the Facebook. They are campaigning, requesting for more and more donations, willing to help the frontliners. The government cannot provide it. See, well, of course, we are glad that we have our what we call interagency task force. But this interagency task force are most wanting of the solutions, comprehensive solution that they have to provide. What have they provided for education? What have they provided to business and industry? What have they provided to health workers?
Actually, the problems in the Philippines are not something that can be solved now during this time, but things that have become very, very evident. You know, I mean, like the traffic in the Philippines and all that, and Metro Manila, that
Exactly.
one, and then the other one, which is even worse now, is the internet, right? Because we have so many people that are not able to access even the internet. That's why the online education in the Philippines was stopped. You know, I was saying that in the first week when I saw like even LaSalle and other schools have to stop their online.
Yeah.
Right?
In fact, there was a statement.
When the private schools are stopping, then all the more, how do we expect the public schools? So, but that has to be addressed on a nationwide level, that there must be another telco that can provide, or the current telco has to increase their connectivity, right? And if not for internet access to all people, then the Philippines is going to be really not able to compete, right? Just like if they're based at home, which will be actually a solution. Like now, almost every country we are all at home, but where are the places that like in Singapore we can access the internet. Some of my colleagues are complaining that the internet is slow, but they can only say the internet is slow because they have never experienced trying to access internet in the Philippines, where sometimes the call will be dropped, or
in Singapore is very high tech and high touch in terms of ICT facilities.
Well, also because we're such a small city, right? That's why.
It was 3 weeks ago. No, 2 weeks ago. Chairman of the CHED came up with a statement to stop online because there are many students
who could
in
not
the
access.
tertiary level are complaining about receiving instructions in the online. Just imagine that. There is no comprehensive educational solution about all these things. If they should have done online education or distance education, honest to goodness, and making more accessible to everybody in tertiary education, then at this point in time, we have no, perhaps we can continue our educational learning teaching processes through online and distance education.
Yes.
But you see, there was even a time during the time of the former chairman to stop this online education. She issued this what we call moratorium by not approving the applications of many colleges and universities to wanting to go into distance or online education. Just imagine.
Well, until the infrastructure issue is addressed, it will still be a challenge. But how to lobby? How to lobby for that to happen?
There are many small. There are many. I know one player based in Singapore. They got they access the infrastructure of Singapore, trying to make it available to some of the selected few educational institutions in the Philippines. And it is very powerful. Very powerful. Hopefully it will be more dynamic in terms of implementation. Hopefully the educational leaders in our country, both basic education and tertiary education, will come to realize that distance education, online education is very much needed in the delivery system of learning teaching processes. See, they have to realize that, and they have to accept that whether there is coronavirus, whether there is coronavirus or no coronavirus, it is the call of the time. Actually, with the advent of Industrial Revolution 4.0 and Education 4.0, we have to address this, the use of technology in education. That is very relevant. Let us try to reflect on the purposes of the Royal Institution Singapore. Every item very meaningful, very useful, very relevant in this time. Well, the more you will appreciate the wisdom and the forward-looking vision of Dr. Angel about that. We'll try together. Together, I keep on reading. I started reading and rereading. That's why the last purpose very powerful. The last purpose. So thank you. I'm glad that we are given this most happy experience, beautiful experience, exchanging thoughts and ideas Love.
Yes
Thank you
po.
very much.
Thank you din
Happy
po.
Easter.
Eugene. Happy Easter.